Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another webinar with Wes. My name is Wes Fryer, and I'm coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I would like to introduce you to quick edit videography today, which is a favorite topic of mine and has been for a number of years. And I hope that after watching tonight's webinar, you'll be able to have better skills to be able to create some very lightly edited videos that will be effective and will allow you to, share ideas and be able to get videos more readily online than you might have otherwise if you were going to be doing a more extensive production process. So the resources for tonight's webinar are available under the archives link on webinars.wesfryer.com, and I've got the link there in the base or in the bottom of the screen. I will go ahead here in a minute. I guess I'll go ahead and do that now. I'll go ahead and drop that into our chat so that you can get to that link and follow along. Here's the outline for what I'd like to do tonight. I'd like to show you a couple examples. I don't know exactly how these will play over the webinar, but go ahead and show you these and some of the elements. I'm going to talk about process and what I'll call the 4 Ps. And then the main part of today's webinar is I want to show you the workflow that I really like doing with my iPhone using mainly the iMovie app. But I also use the YouTube app and the YouTube Studio app. And so after going through the workflow and talking about titling and some more slightly advanced effects that you can do called picture-in-picture, then we'll talk about how you can put those on YouTube and some different options that you have there. So what is the code, please, for my mom? And if you're talking about as far as the code to access, you'll just need to use the same link that you use to be able to access the webinar. So I'm going to drop this link into our chat and send this to everybody. So that's the direct link. It's webinars.wesfryer.com. And again, if you go up to the archives tab, you can access the resource page that I'm going to be using tonight, okay? So please do go ahead and continue to put some questions into the chat. I will try to answer those as best I can, and then we'll also have some time at the end for some questions. So I just have, for all these webinars, I've just basically got a title slide and a little introduction slide, but these links over here on the right side are the links that I'd like to share. So the first one that I'll start out with is a series that I started just this year on YouTube, and I have, 16 episodes so far. And these are just really quick videos that I'm recording before school, usually in most cases, that are like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. They're just not very long at all. And they are in a series I'm calling Wisdom with Wes. So I'm getting old. I'm in my 50s now. And so I want to share some different bits of wisdom. And I thought, well, I'll start a webinar series with that. Now, this last one I just put on called Radar Screens is from about 1.5 years ago. And I really hadn't had that in a very good place. And so I just decided to put that here into the series. But the rest of these have episode numbers. And I'll go ahead and play one. And I'm going to actually play the one that I'm going to edit for you to just sort of do the demonstration. And this one is called Choosing Slowness. And so I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of this. What I want you to notice is that I've got some text on this video, and then I also have a picture-in-picture that's going to pop up, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So here is this video.
Monday, February the 26th, 2024, and this is Wes Fryer in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'd like to talk about slowness and the slow movement.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it right there because those two features, the text title that I actually chose to put in the upper left corner, and then this picture-in-picture image are the only big editing items that I did on this entire video. And so I think that being able to do something like this pretty quick, it really is an enhancement. It's, a lot of the videos that we see, particularly on YouTube, but on, everywhere, they're highly edited, and there's a lot of value in editing. But at the same time, I really think that there's also value in being able to get a video out quickly that you put a little bit of extra polish on, but not a ton. And so it just really requires a very low amount of post-production work. Okay. The next one I want to show you is from a few years ago, and it's one of the videos on my YouTube channel that has the most views. It's called Making Lead Bullets. I'm going to go ahead and just mute it. But when our son was in Boy Scouts, we lived in Oklahoma City. We would go up to Hutchinson, Kansas, and there was this really big camp out called the Trappers Rendezvous that hundreds, there probably were thousands actually of scouts that would convene. And it was either I think it was in February. It's like at the beginning of February. And so, no, it was in January because it says this was January 10th, 2010. So there you go. It was 13 years ago. And so they had different, mountain men that were dressed up and people that were showing, blacksmithing skills. And this fellow was showing how to make lead bullets and the way that you did that. And so anyway, this video's got like 39,000 views. In this case, I didn't do anything to this video except shoot it and publish it. I did not put a title on it. I didn't put anything extra on it. But, and I need to say that you can certainly do so many things to improve the video quality, to include using an external microphone, but being able to shoot with, I think I was actually shooting with a flip video camera, if you're old enough to remember, those before, we were using smartphones. I might have been shooting with my iPhone, but I don't think I was. I think I was shooting this with a flip phone. So anyway, that is another example. And then the other playlist that I'm going to show you is one I call School Project Examples. So I teach middle school STEM, and a lot of times I'm sharing, have shared in the past workshops for teachers and with an educational focus. And so this is 11 different videos that are just different school projects. And so one of the nice things about a playlist is we can push play here. This was in my wife's classroom back in 2015 when they had created what they called these jitterbug projects, and they were paper clips and these motors, and this was part of what they called their Maker Studio in their STEM class, or the STEM lessons, I guess, that they were doing. Here's one. This is further down. This is our son, who's now 26 years old, something like that. 25 maybe. I should know that. Anyway, this was back when he was in 8th grade, and they had a project where they had to do a simple machine. And so he talks for a little bit, and then he demonstrates a little bit his water wheel and how that worked. And it's about 3 minutes long, but it's just a quick video that's edited together. And he ends up making some changes in it. But man, this is so awesome to have documented this and have documented his learning in his process and stuff like that. Those are all examples of what I would call quick edit videos. All right. So the next link that I have on our reference page is to an entire website that I have created for quick edit video. And so back in 2013, when I published my second book, I created this website that's called Show with Media. What do you want to create today? It's just showwithmedia.com. And so when you scroll down, there are 14 different little media projects that you can do. And this one is called Quick Edit Video. And so on each of these, you have a definition of what it is, and then there are examples and tools and suggested workflows and tutorials. Pardon me, about how to do each one of these. Now, at the time that I did this little graphic, this is like 6 years ago, back in 2017, I was looking at different kinds of video production options with an iPhone. And so paper slide videos are a type of quick edit video that you can make. We're doing what I consider to be quick edit video today, green screen videos, and then edited videos. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of a hybrid because with my quick edit videos, I do like to edit a little bit with iMovie. And so what I talked about here under ongoing use, I went ahead and copied and put that onto our page. And these are what I would call the 4 Ps. Plan, okay? Make a plan. What do you want to do? What kind of a video you're going to shoot? And, it could involve rehearsal. In a lot of cases, I'm shooting a video of myself. And so I just have to think a little bit about what I'm going to be doing and kind of maybe outline a little bit. Obviously, you can get much more in depth with the ways in which you plan and you practice, but you want to make some kind of a plan. Step 2 is producing. When you actually shoot the video, And then you're going to prune the video, which is editing the video. And lastly, you're going to publish. So we're going to plan, produce, prune, and publish. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my iPhone and let you see that screen. And I am going to use a video that I've already shot. But the technique that I use now for shooting my videos is I will usually shoot them horizontally, not vertically. When I'm shooting barbecue videos for the TikTok barbecue channel that I have, I shoot them vertically. But for basically all the rest of my videos, I shoot them horizontally because that is YouTube is basically set up for that format. And YouTube is my target publication channel for these videos. I like to go ahead and make sure that on the front of my iPhone, I guess I could show this. So let me go ahead and connect my iPhone, and I'll show you this. The iPhone has what's called the Command Center, and so this is my home screen. And when I pull down from the upper right corner, you can see that I've got a lot of different button choices, and I have put Command Center on here, and I, there's a few things that I've added, but I mean, basically there's the camera. There's other shortcuts, in order to get to the camera. But being able to flip this around, point this at myself, and then use the button that's on the top, that's pretty much how I shoot my video. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you the videos that we're going to use and we're going to edit today. Now, on your iPhone, you can go into you've got the library and you've got the For You section, which is using AI to show you stuff that Apple's AI thinks you want to see. You can go into albums and search. Underneath albums, you've got your albums that you've created and favorites and things like that, shared albums. But here under media types, you can see I've got over 2,900 different videos. And then I've also, got photos. And what I want to do is actually use a particular video and a particular photo. So what I've done is I have made the video I want to use and the picture that I want to use a favorite, so that they'll be really quick and easy, hopefully, for me to be able to access once I get into my iMovie program. Sometimes I will create, depending on how much I'm going to edit, an entire album. Like I don't know if I was doing this or not, but like if I was going to make a video about this trip to Ishan's Chicken, which is a place in Oklahoma that we love, you can just go ahead and make an entire album. But this is a technique to help me find my video. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and launch iMovie. By the way I'm doing that is I'm just pulling down in the middle of my screen to get Spotlight, and then I'll start to type the app that I want, which is in this case is iMovie, and it's going to go ahead and open up. It's always reminding me that theater is going to be deleted, and I've already taken care of that. So I am ready to start a new project. These are all different iMovie projects that I've done. As you can see, I use iMovie all the time to create things. And when I create a new project, in this case, I'm going to choose the bottom choice, which is just to make a movie. Now, iMovie is going to ask me what I want to bring in to the timeline to edit. And it's brought up the essentially album called Moments. So I'm going to tap on media there, and I'm going to go back, and I could just go ahead and look through video, but there's a lot of video in here, especially if I go to recently added. I've just got a ton of different videos, and the video that I want goes back further. And so I'm going to choose albums and favorites. Again, this is a technique that I'm using as a way to quickly get to the media that I want. And in some cases, you could have more than one video clip. But for these quick edit videos, usually I just have one video that I've shot, and I'll go ahead and create the movie. And so here is my little video that I've shot that's 4.5 minutes long, but it doesn't have anything added to it. Now, the point where I'm holding my finger up and pointing, that's where I want to put the picture of the book that I'm talking about. This little quick edit video was about slowness and choosing slowness in this book that I read a few years ago by Carl Onray called In Praise of Slowness. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to put text onto this video, and I'm also going to put that book cover as a picture-in-picture image on here. And this is the way I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and tap on the video itself that's in my timeline. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see that I have the scissors selected, which is the choice that I'll use to make splits or duplicates or delete. I'm not using right now the speed choice, and I'm also not going to be messing with my volume. I am going to the fourth choice, which is my text. And so I have just started to really enjoy using the third one, which is the split text. And on, I think, all of these text choices, you can choose to have it in large centered text, or you can choose to have it in what's called the lower third. And so what I usually like to do is put my website, and in this case I'll just put wesfryer.com, and I like to put that on a particular part. Now I don't want that in the middle of my face, and so you can then tap and move this wherever you would like. In this case I think I put it up here on the top. Now you have some choices for each one of the text formats or the text styles that you choose, and in the bottom in the bottom left corner, you've got, A is for fonts. I usually just kind of leave that alone and don't change that. I also usually just leave it white. I don't change it, but you could change the color. But here's what I do basically all the time change, and it's on the 3 dots. You can change the style, and you can put on the full clip duration. So if I want this to be a little smaller, I could choose lower third, and then that text style is going to be a little bit smaller than the first one that was initially selected. I really like to choose this full clip duration, because then that text title is going to remain on for the entire video. And in this case, that's what I want. I want to go ahead and leave that kind of like a watermark so that it's going to show up on my entire video. All right. Now, the other thing that I will do from time to time is put in some pictures. And I don't have to even listen to the audio of this, because I know that when I put my finger up like this, what I'm wanting to do is have the cover of that book appear. And so what I'm going to do is push or tap on the plus sign, and it says, what do you want to bring in? And in this case, I could choose photos, but if I choose albums and favorites, the very picture that I want is right there saved to my favorites. Now, if I chose to just bring it in with the plus, it is going to, I think, cover up. Well, shoot, let's see what it does. I'll just push plus. Oh, look at that. I did not want that at all. It put it there as another clip. I want it on top. And so that is what you don't want to do in this case for this example. So I'm going to tap on that clip and go back to the scissors, and I have a delete button. So I can delete that video. And I will again go to this spot right here where I want to put my picture. This time, instead of tapping the plus, I'm going to tap the 3 dots that are right in the bottom right corner of that image. And I get these choices. I can add that picture as what's called a cutaway, a picture-in-picture, a split screen, or I can be using green or blue screen. And my favorite to use, the one that I do the most, is picture-in-picture, and I'll show you why. This allows for that image, in this case a book cover, to show up right here above my finger, right on top of my video. And I think that I do want, I'm going to want to keep my wesfryer.com. Actually, what I think I'll do is I'm going to go back to my text, and I'm going to just move this. I'm going to put it down here in the bottom right corner. Then it won't interfere with my picture that I'm going to put in here. Okay. Now, that is not the entire book cover. So I'm going to edit this picture, which is a picture-in-picture on top of my video, and I am going to make it full size, and I'm going to make it bigger and sort of move it over a little bit. And here's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to tap on the picture-in-picture, which is in a layer on top of my video layer. And you can see that it's selected because it is yellow. Now I have some choices, a magnifying glass and some crosshairs, and I think something that might do full screen. And so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tap on pinch to zoom. And so I'm going to go ahead and pinch this so that the whole thing is visible. Look at that. The entire book, which is a rectangle, is visible. And then instead of choosing the magnifying glass, I'm going to choose I guess it's a crosshair. It says drag to position, pinch to resize. And so I'm going to go ahead and pinch that and make that large because I want this to basically fill in the entire thing. Now there's black on the side of it, but oh, check this out. The entire book, doesn't fill up the entire screen, and so it just shows as the book right there. Isn't that great? Okay, so now I have to decide how long I want it to be on the screen, and there is a limit to this, but I can use what are called the yellow handles on the side, and I can stretch that out to make that larger, and I can make that as long or as short as I would like. And so now my video, when it plays, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this or not.
Hey, good morning. Today is Monday, February the 26th, 2024, and this is Wes Fryer in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'd like to talk about slowness.
Ta-da. Okay. And I could go ahead and do some other edits. But really, that's about all that I do for these videos is I will put some text as sort of a watermark. One thing to be aware of, I guess, if you do put the text there in the corner, is YouTube will create a little watermark in the bottom right corner, and you can change that that icon as part of your YouTube channel settings. But anyway, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that here. And so we can, the only other thing that I'll do here is in the very bottom right corner of the iMovie interface, there's a gear icon. And when I click that, I usually don't change any project filters or themes, but I do change this second to the bottom that says fade out to black. And what that's going to do at the very end of my video is it's going to fade out to black. And I kind of like that effect. So that's about it. So I am now ready to save my video and publish it to the internet. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to exit the editing screen for my movie, and I'm going to go to the very bottom here. I usually watch the video in its entirety to make sure it looks fine. But now I'm going to tap that share button, the share square, as some people call it, and I'm going to choose to share my video. Now, if you wanted somebody else to be able to edit your project, that's where you export the project. And I think you can even edit it in iMovie on a laptop or desktop now. You don't just have to do this on the iPhone. But I'm going to go ahead and choose to export my movie, and I'm going to choose to save my video. And so that is going to export the video and save it to my camera roll so that I can then publish that finalized video. This is the video that has all the edits and changes that I've made. It has the text on it. It has the picture-in-picture. It is the final post-produced video that I can put on YouTube. All right, and depending on how fast your phone is and how long the video is and how many edits you have, this can take a little while. But it's actually one of the reasons why I really like to have larger size phones with more storage. I think I have 256 gigs on this one because I've got more storage. And sometimes you can run into a problem where it'll say there's not enough room and you have to go in and delete things from your phone in order to make room. I'm going to go ahead and stop that because I've already exported it. And I'm going to show you the process that I use for publishing. And what I generally do is I just use the YouTube app and I publish my video right within the YouTube app. And so down here on my YouTube app at the very bottom, there is a plus. Now make sure you're on the correct account. I have multiple accounts that I manage, and so this is something I want to put on my main channel. So make sure you're in the right channel and go ahead and click on the plus, and it says, hey, what video would you like to publish? Now, in this case, I don't think it's going to let me choose my favorites. It'll show me the most recent things. And for the sake of brevity, I'm just going to go ahead and select this little video. This was our daughter eating some seafood boil yesterday, but this is just for demonstration effect. So I go ahead and select the video, and then I have my interface to go ahead and put in my title, my description, and all of that kind of stuff. YouTube is going to need to make sure I'm not violating copyright before this becomes public. And so it will be an unlisted video first. In this case, I'm just going to call this seafood boil. I will leave this as unlisted. After it goes through the checks and they verify, oh yes, Wes is not violating copyright, I can go ahead and make it public. If I want to put in a specific location, I can. I can also add it to a playlist. For instance, if this was part of my series, well, that's not on Wonderlinks. If this was part of my series, Wisdom with Wes, I would go ahead and select that, and I have that playlist set to automatically add the new videos right at the top. But in this case, I'm not going to be able to do that. And you can choose other things like turning comments on and off and stuff like that. If you've made it for kids, you need to go ahead and say, yes, this wasn't, and then I'll go ahead and upload the video. And so this should go relatively quick since, yeah, it sure did. It actually already uploaded, and I think it started before I finished the process. So it is completely uploaded, and it is being processed on the YouTube website right now. And so the processing is a rendering process when it makes it basically viewable with folks that have different speeds of devices, and then it will eventually choose a thumbnail that will be automatically selected for that video, and depending again on how long it is, and how busy I guess they probably are on their servers. You can see by the icons here, especially comparing it to my episode 15 being seen, this has a link, not a globe, so it's not publicly available to everybody. It's not being monetized, and it doesn't have any views, and it doesn't have any likes. And so you can see those kind of things. All right, so this is the YouTube just standard app for watching YouTube videos, but I usually use this to upload my videos initially. Now, the last app that I want to show you is called YouTube Studio. And so I'm going to search for Studio, and it's called YT Studio. And again, you want to make sure that you are signed in to your correct channel, and that you can see, analytics and stuff like that for your channel there on the first page. When I tap on content here at the bottom, this is where it's going to let me make some edits and some changes. And I can make more changes to my videos here within the YouTube Studio app than I can just within the regular YouTube app. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on my three dots here on my seafood boil video, and I'm going to go ahead and choose edit. And I'll just show you really quick what it has done. Now it's picked a thumbnail, which looks fine. I could also change that. I could make my own thumbnail, and I can upload that. If I want to monetize this video, and I've already put that kind of setting in on my YouTube channel, I can choose to turn that on. I can also come into my visibility, and I could go ahead and make that video public. And then when I save it, all those changes are gonna happen. Now, I don't actually want to publish this video, but or I don't want to make this one public, so I'll go ahead and save that. But all those changes are saved to my video, and in many cases I will use another program. Well, I'll just use my Notes app to create my description and things like that, and then I'll copy and paste and put it in here. Sometimes I'll also dictate, but it's nice to be able to do that in another app. Okay, so that was a lot of screen sharing. And then I think we're actually kind of coming up on the 30-minute mark. So I've gone through those steps, and what I want to do now is just open it up to see if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask. These are the links to the apps that I just talked about. iMovie, of course, is a free app. I have loved using iMovie not only on the iPhone but on the iPad for many years. As I just demonstrated, I use the regular YouTube app to usually publish these. You can publish on YouTube Studio, and maybe I don't know, maybe I should try that, and that would be a difference. But my workflow has been to publish with YouTube, and then to go in with YouTube Studio and be able to make some additional adjustments and changes and stuff like that. So if you have any questions that you would like to offer up right now, I will go ahead and take a look at those in the chat, and I'll answer those. And if not, I will go ahead and sign off because I think we have just about gone for 30 minutes. So I am not seeing any questions here in the chat. So let me just go ahead and remind you that these are webinars that I am offering usually on a weekday evening, a lot of times Thursdays. There's been a few times when I've done some other things. You can come up to the archives link and you can see the archives. The webinars are free to attend, but I'm charging a small fee for folks that would like to access the recorded versions. And so if you want to access any of those, you can do that under archives. But you can also go up to archives, for instance, if you wanted to learn about Mastodon, which was my last one. And all of the resources, all the links and everything like that that I've talked about in the webinar, those are all available free. And so you can check those out. But again, just go to webinars.wesfryer.com. And you can check that out, and I appreciate your attendance and wish you luck as you hopefully are able to create some quick edit videos, being able to share those videos with others. I hope that they've shared some tips with you, and I will share a link that you can fill out a little feedback form and let me know if you have any questions. I guess I could turn off my screen share now. If you've got any questions about the process and anything that we talked about tonight. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great night.